New lenses are getting harder to review these days because there's not much to say about them except it's good, and Fuji's new 33 f1.4 lens is good. This somewhat puzzling focal length of 33mm is no coincidence. If you multiply it with the crop factor, that gives you 49.5mm, which is pretty much smack on a 50mm full-frame equivalent. The style of this lens follows a precedent set by the 18mm f1.4 released just a few months ago, both image quality-wise and physically as well. This 33 actually looks just like the 18. I appreciate how Fuji tweaked the position and widths of its rings, so it's at least a little easier to identify between these two. And like the 18, it's a fairly compact but bright prime with a full metal finish. In terms of image quality, this 33 is a lens you can comfortably shoot wide open. It's resolving the finest of details without breaking a sweat at f1.4, and color fringing is not likely to be an issue. There's only a trace of it wide open. Also, for a 50mm equivalent, bokeh is going to be quite important, and I do find it particularly pleasing on this lens. There's barely any harshness in the autofocus elements. And when we move on to consider its other optical qualities, it continues to be very good. Barrel distortion is exceptionally well controlled for a 33mm. Lines running through the frame appear almost perfectly straight. But one of the best qualities it's picked up after the 18 is its autofocus. It will not disappoint because it's powered by a linear motor. That's what the LM stands for. It moves very fast, very accurate, and it is dead silent. Shooting with one of these linear motor lenses feels quite surreal actually, because you see the autofocus happening, but you don't feel it happening even though it is happening right in your hands. It's that lack of feedback because there's no vibration or sound, but I suppose that is a very good thing if we're talking about autofocus. So we get it, it's a good lens. Great build, great image quality, great autofocus, but I think there is one more thing on this lens that everyone can appreciate, and it's the minimum focusing distance. It's 30 centimeters from the sensor plane, so from the tip of your lens to your subject, you can be just over 22 centimeters away, which might not be as close as the 23 1.4 that came out together with this, but it's already much closer than most full-frame 50mm could get you. For me, it was quite refreshing to be able to get so close on a field of view like this. I certainly don't miss having to lean back because my 50 wouldn't focus that close. And it's also super neat that such a capable high-performance f1.4 lens is merely palm-sized. It's just the right form factor in my opinion. For professional work, this would no doubt be a trusty workhorse, but it's also not going to be written off for being a humongous chonk by casual shooters who do appreciate a good prime. This lens is launching for $200 less than the 18mm f1.4, which still puts the 33mm at a rather premium price point of $799, but it is a premium lens, and I think the product certainly justifies its price. While I could go on all day telling you that this is a good lens, perhaps I should be seeing you in one of my other reviews like this one here of the new GFX 50S Mark II.